facts you might not know. From the biggest flops to the greatest hits, this is Trash Can Tidbits.
Hey there everyone, I'm Beaton, your host for Trash Can Tidbits, ready to bring you another list of 10 random pop culture facts. Last time I asked the question, true or false? Solid Snake's real name of David is a tribute to his voice actor, David Hayter. The answer is, believe it or not, false. The name David is actually a reference to the character of Dr. David Bowman from the movie 2001 A Space Odyssey, which is Hideo Kojima's favorite movie. Even the real name of the Metal Gear character Otacon, Dr. Hal Emmerich, is a reference to the sinister AI computer in that film, HAL 9000. Snake even completes the reference with a line about taking a trip to Jupiter. The fact that David Hayter plays Snake is a total coincidence. Now with that address, let's get started with fact number 1. Did you know that one actor from The Wizard of Oz played 5 characters in that same film? Frank Morgan, who played the title role, also played Professor Marvel in the Kansas scenes, as well as the Emerald City Doorman, the cabbie who leads the horse of a different color, and the crying guard who lets the gang in to see the wizard. It's debated whether or not these Emerald City characters are the same person. Then again, we don't see the guard again after he opens the door, so it is possible. Morgan was a very versatile character actor indeed. Fact 2. Did you know that the Flintstones live-action movies each have a cast member that not only played the same character, but also have ties to Cleopatra? The first Flintstones movie from 1994 notably featured Elizabeth Taylor in her final role as Pearl Slackhoople, Fred Flintstone's overbearing mother-in-law. The sequel/prequel, The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas, featured Joan Collins, star of the 80s soap opera Dynasty, as Mrs. Slackhoople. One of Elizabeth Taylor's best-known films was Cleopatra, a film I've talked about several times already. But what is not as well known is that Joan Collins screen-tested for the role of Cleopatra before Taylor was even considered, and can be seen on the special edition Blu-ray. Collins probably would have been a good choice for the Queen of the Nile had she got the part. Fact 3. Did you know that Rachel Zegler, who made her film debut as Maria in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, got the part right out of high school? Rachel is a Jersey girl, and she had already played Maria several times, including at her high school production of West Side Story in Bergen County, several clips of which are on YouTube. Interestingly enough, her high school performance in her senior year was as Princess Fiona in Shrek the Musical, a show based on a movie that Spielberg himself produced. And even more interestingly, Brian Darcy James, who originated the role of Shrek on Broadway, plays Officer Krupke in West Side Story. As a Jersey native, I couldn't be more proud of the best choice to play Maria. Fact 4. Did you know that the Disney movie Miracle about the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team victory used a combination of newly recorded sports commentary and the original? Disney hired the original announcer, Al Michaels, to recreate commentary for the final game between Team USA and the Soviet Union. But feeling that they couldn't ask Michaels to recreate the emotion he felt in the last few seconds, director Gavin O'Connor decided to use the last 10 seconds of the real commentary, including Michaels' now iconic cry of, "Do you believe in miracles?" Hence, the sound engineers were able to seamlessly transition from one sound clip to the other, giving a true sense of authenticity to perhaps the greatest moment in Olympic sports history. Fact 5. Did you know that the Harry Potter audiobooks were read by 2 different narrators for the British and American releases, and coincidentally, both of them were British? The original released British audiobooks were narrated by English actor and comedian Stephen Fry of Blackadder fame. Fry was not retained for the American releases, however. That duty went to another British comedy legend, Jim Dale. I actually remember listening to Dale's narrations for the first 3 books, and his voice was indeed very animated, probably more so than Stephen Fry. I imagine Fry is a bit dry, wouldn't you say? Sorry, I couldn't resist. Fact 6. Did you know that Disney's Jungle Book had a sequel long before the Jungle Book 2 was made? In 1969, Disney Records released More Jungle Book, a read-along record that told an original story that was essentially the plot for the Jungle Book 2. Baloo misses Mowgli, they go off on another adventure in the jungle, and so on. Phil Harris reprised his role as Baloo, and Louis Prima once again played King Louie, and features some original songs, such as Baloo's Blues, It's a Kick, and Jungle Fever. This record was pretty much a test market to see if people wanted another Jungle Book movie, but unfortunately it didn't sell well. It wouldn't be until the early 2000s when the Jungle Book 2 was released, which was loosely based off this record. But that didn't fare well either. Go figure. The song Baloo's Blues has since been included as a bonus track in re-releases of the original film's soundtrack. Fact 7. Did you know that the character of Kano from Mortal Kombat had his nationality changed because of the first live-action movie? The series' co-creator, Ed Boon, had originally made Kano Japanese, but once the movie came out in 1995, the producers cast actor Trevor Goddard as Kano. Goddard made the character Australian, and Boon loved his performance so much, he retconned Kano's backstory in the games to make him Australian as well as inspiring Australian actor Josh Lawson's performance in the 2021 MK film. Interestingly enough, Trevor Goddard was actually British, but claimed to have had Australian heritage. Fact 8. Did you know that one of Charlie's Angels could have been in the role that made Meryl Streep a star? Kate Jackson, who played Sabrina on Charlie's Angels, was contractually obligated to star in the movie Kramer vs. Kramer as Joanna Kramer, the mother and wife who leaves her family and then inexplicably returns to claim custody of her son. Jackson really wanted to be in this film, but Charlie's Angels producer Aaron Spelling refused, and she remained on the show. Jackson eventually left afterwards in anger because of her missed opportunity. Meanwhile, the role of Joanna was offered to a rising newcomer named Meryl Streep, and she later won an Oscar for her role, putting her on the road to superstardom. Fact 9. Did you know that there was one fight scene that was in the screenplay for Kill Bill, but ended up not being filmed? This fight scene explains the absence of the bride's pussy wagon vehicle in Volume 2. In the screenplay, after the bride kills Vernita Green, she comes across Yuki Yubari, the sister of Crazy 88 member Gogo Yubari, whom the bride had a memorable fight scene with in Volume 1. Yuki, seeking revenge for the death of her sister, would have tracked the bride down in Volume 2, destroying the pussy wagon, and had a fight scene with her. There would have been a whole chapter in the film dedicated to said fight scene. Sadly, Yuki and the whole chapter were cut out due to time constraints, and the scenes were never filmed. Interestingly enough, Quentin Tarantino was looking to cast Japanese actress Ko Shibasaki as Yuki. Shibasaki had starred alongside Chiaki Kuriyama, who played Gogo in Volume 1, in the film that brought both actresses to Tarantino's attention, Battle Royale. Fact 10. Did you know that the 1997 Broadway revival of the musical Annie for its 20th anniversary had a couple of controversies surrounding the production? To begin with, the actress originally chosen to play Annie, 10-year-old Joanna Pasidi, was fired before the show even made it to Broadway and was replaced by her 8-year-old understudy, Brittany Kissinger, who subsequently became the youngest actress to play Annie on Broadway. The reason given was that Pasidi had bronchitis while the show was on the road in Boston 2 weeks before the show made it to New York. Pasidi was part of a nationwide contest to cast the title role, and Andrea McArdle, the original Annie, personally picked her as the winner of the contest. The second controversy that happened was the commercial for the show had a white actress playing the mean orphanage owner Miss Hannigan, while the show itself had a black actress, the late Nell Carter. This caused significant outrage among the fans of the show and Carter herself. The explanation given for that was that these commercials were shot long before the show even began casting and would have cost too much to reshoot. Ironically, Nell Carter would later be replaced in the show by another white actress, and the show itself would close after a short run in the same year, 1997. And here's today's trivia question. The Pink Panther character was introduced in the original film from 1964 in the opening animated title sequence. He was created by animation legends Friz Freleng and David DePatie, with input from the film's director, Blake Edwards. The title sequence was so well received that Edwards commissioned Freleng and DePatie to create a series of cartoons featuring the Pink Panther character and Henry Mancini's classic theme music. The first of these cartoons went on to win an Oscar, allowing the cool cat to become famous in his own right. My question to you is, what was the name of the first cartoon featuring the Pink Panther character? And there we go for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed what I offered. You got any trivia facts you want to share with me for a future episode? Go ahead and comment below. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and ring the bell to be notified for future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.